From a humble beginning to a global empire, the story of Pepsi is far more than just fizz and refreshment. Brace yourself for a jaw-dropping journey through the disturbing history of Pepsi, uncover shocking secrets, bold marketing moves, and the bitter rivalries that shaped this iconic beverage brand. Our story begins with Caleb D. Bradham, an aspiring young man born in 1867. Hailing from a small farming town in North Carolina, Caleb dreamed of becoming a doctor, but financial struggles forced him to abandon his college education. Determined to forge his path, Caleb became a pharmacist and opened the Bradham Pharmacy in 1892. This bustling establishment featured a soda fountain, where locals gathered to savor refreshing beverages and engage in lively conversations. Soda fountains offered an array of tantalizing flavor syrups, including cola, which quickly became a crowd favorite. Inspired by the success of Coca-Cola, Caleb concocted his very own cola syrup, aiming to create a healthful drink that would delight the senses. With a blend of natural flavors like caramel, rare oils, and fruit juice extracts, Caleb's cola syrup took shape. Fun fact, before it was called Pepsi, the drink had a different name and an intriguing nickname. The locals affectionately named the drink Brad's Drink, and its popularity soared to new heights. After years of local triumph, Caleb yearned to share his creation with a wider audience. In 1898, he officially renamed it Pepsi Cola, drawing inspiration from the Greek word pepsis, meaning digestion, underscoring its healthful qualities. The drink's popularity skyrocketed, prompting Caleb to supply large kegs of Pepsi syrup to other soda fountains across the nation. In 1903, he formally established the Pepsi Cola Company, setting the stage for the brand's remarkable journey. But as with any great tale, challenges awaited. World War I brought sugar rationing, plunging the company into financial turmoil. Despite Caleb's valiant efforts, Pepsi Cola filed for bankruptcy in 1920, forcing him to sell off company assets and return to his work as a pharmacist. As fate would have it, Pepsi's story was far from over. In 1931, the struggling brand found a savior in the Loft Candy Company. But how did this seemingly unconventional partnership change the game for Pepsi? Loft Candy Company made bold decisions that revolutionized the game for Pepsi. By using recycled beer bottles and offering a generous 12-ounce drink for just 5 cents, they won over budget-conscious consumers during the challenging years of the Great Depression. Pepsi also showcased its patriotism during World War II with a clever rebranding strategy. Their Your Man in Service campaign captured the hearts of Americans, demonstrating unwavering support for the troops. But Pepsi's innovation didn't stop there. Recognizing the untapped potential of the African American community as a formidable market, they targeted this demographic directly with their advertising campaigns. This bold move paid off handsomely, further propelling Pepsi's ascent. In the face of legal battles with Coca-Cola over trademark infringement, Pepsi Cola pressed on, eventually shortening its name to simply Pepsi. The brand's momentum continued to surge, weathering the storms of World War II. Pepsi's reach expanded exponentially, captivating millions across the globe with its ingenious and iconic marketing campaigns. In 1950, Pepsi made a daring move by appointing Alfred Steele as their new CEO, a former vice president of Coca-Cola. Steele's expertise in bolstering cola companies sparked significant changes within the Pepsi brand. They launched massive advertising campaigns and sales promotions, featuring glamorous women like Steele's famous wife, Joan Crawford, as Pepsi models. These moves paid off handsomely, catapulting Pepsi's sales from 1.6 million in 1950 to an astounding 11.5 million in 1958. Steele's reign as CEO is etched into Pepsi's history as one of its most triumphant eras, tragically ending with his untimely death from a heart attack in 1959. Following Steele's untimely demise, the baton of leadership passed to Don Kendall, a man who had climbed the corporate ladder, starting as a humble syrup salesman. Kendall's audacious decision to introduce Pepsi to the Soviet Union marked a pivotal moment for the brand. But how did they manage to navigate the complexities of the Cold War and secure a deal that would make history? In 1959, during the American National Exhibition in Moscow, Pepsi struck a groundbreaking deal with the USSR, becoming the first American brand to be sold in the country. However, a significant obstacle loomed on the horizon. The Soviet ruble held no value beyond the USSR's borders. So how did Pepsi and the Soviet Union work around this obstacle? They devised a brilliant barter system. They exchanged Pepsi concentrate for Stolichnaya vodka, granting Pepsi exclusive rights to distribute the iconic vodka in the United States. This allowed allowed Pepsi to earn valuable US dollars. The deal proved successful for a time, but by 1979, Pepsi struggled to sell enough vodka to sustain the agreement. After renegotiating, they opted to build commercial freight ships instead of receiving warships, as some legends would have it. These ships could be sold or leased, showcasing Pepsi's adaptability. However, the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 marked the end of Pepsi's extraordinary relationship with the country. In a bold move in 1965, Pepsi expanded beyond the realm of beverages by merging with the snack giant Frito-Lay, giving rise to a new conglomerate, PepsiCo. This strategic partnership enabled them to combine resources and rapidly venture into new markets. Can you imagine the monumental impact of this strategic partnership on Pepsi's trajectory? Overnight, PepsiCo became a juggernaut with an extensive portfolio of brands, including Lay's, Gatorade, Cheetos, Aquafina, Tropicana, and numerous others. They even acquired major restaurant chains like Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, and KFC, securing the exclusive rights to provide beverages for these beloved outlets. However, the restaurant venture presented challenges, diverting resources from their more lucrative products. As a result, PepsiCo eventually spun off its primary restaurants into a separate company. Despite encountering some ups and downs, PepsiCo continued to flourish and expand within the food and beverage industry. While they briefly explored other industries like acquiring the sporting goods company Wilson, they ultimately refocused on their core businesses. Today, PepsiCo stands proudly as one of the world's most dominant and successful food and beverage conglomerates. No great tale is without its share of controversies, and Pepsi's history is no exception. Explore the controversies that shaped Pepsi's history, from mishaps in marketing campaigns to accusations of cultural insensitivity. But amidst the challenges, how did PepsiCo manage to emerge stronger? In 1992, they ran a contest in the Philippines called Number Fever, where participants could win prizes by collecting bottle caps with numbers printed on them. Unfortunately, due to a computer glitch, over 600,000 bottle caps bore the same winning number for the grand prize. Chaos ensued when the true number was revealed, resulting in riots, injuries, and even fatalities. This mismanagement of the contest left a dark mark on Pepsi's history, as they were accused of giving false hope to people in poverty and failing to take responsibility for their mistake. In 1996, Pepsi faced another contentious issue with their Pepsi Stuff catalog campaign, where customers could exchange points for prizes. A business student famously attempted to claim a Harrier jet using points, leading to a lawsuit for false advertisement. While Pepsi emerged victorious in the courtroom, the incident generated negative publicity. Moreover, Pepsi has grappled with several ads that received backlash for cultural insensitivity or trivializing serious issues like police brutality. Despite these challenges, PepsiCo continues to hold a significant position in the food and beverage industry, consistently pushing boundaries with its marketing strategies. The epic Cola Wars and an age-old rivalry between Coca-Cola and Pepsi for cola supremacy. In 1975, Pepsi came close to dethroning Coca-Cola with their infamous Pepsi Challenge, a blind taste test that revealed more people preferred Pepsi. Despite initial denial, Coca-Cola conducted their own tests, yielding similar outcomes. However, Coca-Cola's introduction of New Coke in 1985 led to a public outcry for the return of the original formula, ultimately bolstering Coke's unwavering brand loyalty. The Cola Wars continue to shape the competitive landscape of the soft drink industry, with both companies relentlessly vying for the top spot in consumers' hearts and minds. If Coca-Cola is the most popular cola in the world today, it's not necessarily because it is better in taste. Rather, it's because of its unwavering brand name and loyalty. If you're interested in learning more about the history and beginnings of the industry giants, click the video on screen now, where we discuss the start of OpenAI and the history of the man behind ChatGPT, Sam Altman.